What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some news for you today concerning Anthony Joshua once again. Anthony Joshua has stated and expressed that he would like to sit down face-to-face with Deontay Wilder, no promoters, no other team around, just him and Deontay Wilder. You know, Joshua is a person that is showing that he believes and he knows what's going on. He's not stupid. He knows that it's not Wilder, or he feels it's not Wilder. It's his team. And that sounds great. That sounds like a good idea. In fact, back in December, if you guys who follow this channel, if you followed it that long ago, I've always said that, hey, I want to see Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua face to face. The last time they were in the same place was in London and Wembley, right? And Anthony had spoke to him because Deontay Wilder was, praising him, saying, hey, man, this is what I want in the States. And I think that's been the blueprint ever since with Deontay, him personally, right? I think he's always wanted to duplicate whatever Anthony Joshua did over in the UK because he hadn't seen anything like that, especially over here in the States. But other than that, they have never been in the same place at the same time. Anthony Joshua's been over here 3 or 4 times now. He's been in New York 2 or 3 times. He's been in Miami a couple times. He's in Miami right now, training, right? And you can tell he's been sparring and shit because he got knots and cuts and shit everywhere. So, yeah, he's been putting in work, And I'll cover that in another video. But he's here, all right? Saying all that to say this. He is here. And since he's here, since he would like a sit down with Deontay Wilder, I think now is the time for Deontay to respond. Okay? I've already did a video earlier. It's probably uploading now. So, you guys will get that before you'll get this one. But I expressed in that one how he already felt about the $100 million. So there has to be some type of common ground if they sit down and talk face to face. Because then you can see who really wants this shit and who don't. If Anthony Joshua can offer or suggest this type of meeting with Deontay Wilder face to face, you know what that's telling you? That's telling you that Anthony Joshua really wants this fucking fight. Okay? Because it's like Joshua's one of those type of people that he's been the calm one. He's been the one that ain't talked the trash. Not blatantly anyway. Maybe subtly, but not blatantly. He hasn't did all the derogatory things that he's seen other people say about him and to him. Well, really about him, because they haven't really said it to him. You know what I mean? Because again, no one's been face to face, right? When the last time Tyson Fury has been face to face with Anthony Joshua? You see what I'm saying? And likewise for Deontay, as we know. That's been over 2 years ago now, since he saw Anthony Joshua in person. Now Anthony Joshua wants to see him face to face. He said something similar to Lennox Lewis. Remember that? Oh, I think if they see me face to face, they ain't going to have that same type of energy they had when they were talking shit about me. So I think this face to face is a little bit more than just a negotiation. It's more about tone. It's more about the energy between the two, the behavior on how Deontay will act. I would love it televised, really. That shit would do, because then we could see what their personalities would be like around each other. How will their chemistry, be? How will they act around each other? You know what I mean? What would go on between these guys talking, shaking hand to hand, face to face? You know what I mean? And then we could see who the real culprit is. Because see, I actually did a video last year on this, but I didn't publish it because it was too premature. But I'm going to mention in what I said in that. And I said that if this fight gets made, somewhere down the line, someone has to figure out, or somebody will figure out who stopped these negotiations. You know, because things will happen when people could become face to face, unless it won't happen. You know, unless the fight never gets made. It's the only way we won't find out. You know what I mean? It could be like some Mayweather Pacquiao shit, very little trash talk. You know what I mean? When they're face to face. But I am interested in the comments that Anthony Joshua made, and I would like to see what Deontay Wilder does now. Because remember this, guys, Deontay was all about jumping in the ring, right? Like Fury jumped in the ring with him and all that shit, and you know what I mean? And this confrontation that involved a bunch of people, that involved exposure, right? Because we know Deontay Wilder is somewhat of an attention whore. He wants that type of attention. So I'm thinking if Deontay Wilder says some shit like, no, we can meet, you know, at kind of a mini press conference between us. No, that's not what it's about, because Deontay Wilder is the same guy that suggested, hey, we need to talk in private, right? We need to talk privately to get this deal done. So if Anthony Joshua said, hey, let's meet face to face, okay, that goes right along with what Deontay Wilder was suggesting, right? So I think this is a good sign. It's definitely a call out. This is definitely a reckoning situation. I think Anthony Joshua wants to look him in his eyes, shake his hand, and see if this guy really wants this fight or not. You know what I mean? Because Anthony Joshua, he don't have time to be waiting around. He didn't get famous. He didn't get popular by waiting around. He didn't get undisputed by fucking waiting around and waiting and, you know what I mean, procrastinating and, you know, turning down offers. He didn't get famous like that. He didn't get that. He didn't get all those damn endorsements like that. So one thing about Anthony Joshua, I think he needs to stay consistent, because I feel if he doesn't, I think he's going to get disinterested in the sport. I honestly believe that. Like, he has certain goals. Like when he won the WBO belt and the IBF, he wasn't satisfied because he knows that's just a piece of the puzzle. That's just a portion of some of the things that he wants to get done. Okay. So I feel this is it's a call out, basically. It's a sly call out. I want to see this man face to face, look me in my fucking eyes, and see if you really want to fight me. And if Deontay Wilder does not respond, guys, he's scared himself. He doesn't want that type of exposure, because see, if it's in private and you turn down a private meeting, that tells you a lot. That says, well, what you told the fans that night he knocked out Brazil, that, hey, I think we should do it in secret, that meant that was all a lie. Because that meant if a guy's saying, let's meet face to face, and you've told the public that I want to make these negotiations in private, and you don't do that, you don't respond, you ducking. And it's him. And honestly, I think it's 50-50. I think Deontay knows that he could lose. I think Deontay knows what's at stake, because it took him so long to get there, and it really didn't take him that long. It took his team that long to get him at this point. That's a difference. He thinks it's all about him. No, that wasn't fucking by hard work and dedication. It was because your team decided to actually finally start putting you in meaningful fights. And that's that. So, no, he knows that what he's getting now, he hasn't got in the past 10 years. He hasn't got this type of notoriety or publicity ever. You think he wants to fuck that up with 2 fights? He wants to eat this shit up. He wants to milk this shit all he can. And that's Deontay Wilder personally. Not talking about his team. His team just wants to milk him dry because they're, they own him, right? But him himself, he loves the attention. That's that. But anyway, great suggestion by Anthony Joshua. Face-to-face, private, secret conversation to iron out a deal. Let's see if Deontay Wilder responds. Let's see if he's a man about his word. So you guys tell me what you think about this suggestion from Anthony Joshua. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.